Jeremy Borash outside of Sting's locker room awaiting word on his condition. Last Sunday night at Victory Road, Sting was victorious, and that means that coming up Sunday night, August 13th at Hard Justice, one-on-one, it will be Sting versus Jeff Jarrett for the World Heavyweight title. I'll be outside of Sting's locker room. Jay Lethal. Is Sting okay?
Yeah, he's all right, but he doesn't want to be bothered right now.
Well, what are you doing in there? You got an X Division title shot tonight.
No, JB, I got a title shot tonight.
Well, yeah, last week you won a title shot. X Division title tonight.
I got a title shot. You're right, I won the title shot. But tonight, I was talking to Sting, and he said the best thing for me to do is to go for it all. So tonight, I'm challenging Jeff Jarrett for the world title.
Well, that'll be news to Jeff Jarrett. Impact is next.
Get that win.
Don, let's shift gears here for 1 second. Let's take you back via videotape to this past Sunday's Victory Road pay-per-view. One of the sickest, one of the most strangest things, Don, that I've ever witnessed in TNA.
Oh, it was absolutely disgusting what Jeff Jarrett did. It was just beyond reproach. Putting the gasoline right there into the eyes of Sting. But how heroic was Sting coming back for the victory?
It was almost unbelievable. They cleansed the eyes of Sting. He came back to the ring near the conclusion of the matchup, and yes, against insurmountable odds, blinded by that gasoline. Nonetheless, it was Sting who came back with the victory in the Road to Victory matchup to become the #1 contender. We're going to try and get an update for you. We're going to send it to the back. Our broadcast partner, Jeremy Borash. Let's get an update on Sting.
I am still outside of Sting's locker room awaiting word on his medical condition after what happened last Sunday night at the Victory Road pay-per-view. Now, of course, Sting did emerge victorious, and that means it will be Sting versus Jeff Jarrett one-on-one at the Hard Justice pay-per-view event on Sunday night, August the 13th. Now, what is the condition on Sting's eye? We will be here throughout the course of the hour to find out. Hopefully get word by the...
Do I look stupid? Shut up. To me and Steiner looks like we don't know what's going on around here tonight. You know what Sting's trying to do.
I know exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to remove you from TNA because he thinks you're a cancer.
I'm not talking about that, Cornette. You know what he's trying to do. I'm talking about the con in Sting. He has conned Jay Lethal tonight. You know what? He has absolutely robbed Jay Lethal of an X Division title shot and conned him into wrestling me, being a division he doesn't even deserve to be in. Sting's a con artist, but you know what? It's a master plan, and I know what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to come out of the rafters. He's going to try to slip in the back door and screw me out of a title. You know why? Because he didn't want to face me at Hard Justice. Well, it ain't going to happen, because tonight, wherever I go, he goes, and that is the law.
You know what, Jarrett? You better get in your ring gear, because you've got an NWA World Title defense. You've got it tonight.
Wildest dreams and even think Jay Lethal would use that title shot opportunity to go after his title, and look at what Jay Lethal's doing.
It's like a full court press. Jay Lethal has been in the face of Jarrett even before the opening bell, and he's relentless, never giving up. There's the opening for Jarrett, and the champ caught him. Knees to the back, gonna spring off the ropes. Here he comes.
Oh, man, just applied that pressure on the head of the neck, and now he does it. He comes around. Oh, a nice block. What a block by Lethal, and here he comes. Right onto the rail, right onto Jarrett.
Suicide dive by the challenger. Can you imagine this, Don? NWA World Title match this week on Impact. Samoa Joe one-on-one against Rhino next week. What's Scott Steiner doing out here?
Oh, he's got to be watching Jarrett's back, and look at that steel pipe he's got. I don't think he ever thought this would happen.
Scott Steiner coming out to ringside. Lethal going high risk again off the top. Oh, God, Jarrett tossed him out to the floor. We've got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Can the kid do it? Jay Lethal's challenge for the title. More when we return. And welcome back, everyone, to Impact. The continuation of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship matchup. And during the breakdown, it has been all Jeff Jarrett.
Once he took Jay Lethal off that rope backwards into that rail, that's where the experience came in, and you can see Scott Steiner walking around ringside with that pipe, and you see Steiner right there with Lethal as the referee is distracted, and there is big Papa Pump, and he tosses him back into the ring, just hand-feeding him to the champion.
This is something that Sting has to be looking for, because August 13 at Hard Justice, Jarrett to defend. Look at that elevation, high up into the lights, and Lethal crashes down back first. You know that Jeff Jarrett is going to have Scott Steiner in his corner for the NWA World Heavyweight Heavyweight Championship matchup at Hard Justice, and Sting has to be watching this and keeping that in mind. What a drop kick by Jarrett. Did you see the top boot right into the face of the challenger?
Oh, he just flattened him with that boot. And I mean, Jay Lethal, it was so impressive. He came out so fired up. This is where the experience comes in. You don't hold the championship like this guy so many times without knowing what to do, and he's now making mincemeat of him right here. Oh, he's going to pull him in and try to get him into that figure four.
The reversal. Barely got a 2 count, and Jay Lethal has the figure 4 leg lock applied to the champ.
This kid has just never ceased to amaze us, Mike. Every time you think he's down and out, he finds a way. And wait a minute, look at Steiner. Pulling on the hands of Jeff, getting him to the rope.
This is ridiculous. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner aiding Jarrett, pulling him toward the ring rope, enabling him to break the submission, the figure 4 leg lock. Here comes Lethal.
Look at it. He's not going to let up for a minute. And he goes right out. Over the ring on top of Scott Steiner. What a shot by Jay Lethal.
Flip dive on the Big Papa Pump. Time it right. Missile drop kick on the champ. He's got Jarrett blocking again. Take advantage, Jay. Off into the rope. High hip toss. Cartwheel follow through. And the basement drop kick.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right here. Jay Lethal having a chance. And he goes up top. And he hits him.
Diving dynamite off the top. The cover.
2. Oh, just in time. It was so close.
God, how close can you come?
Look at the facial of Jay Lethal right there. He's pleading to referee Rudy Charles. I had it, but he didn't. The champ got it up just in time. And look at this. Now he shouldn't have went to plead his case. He should have concentrated on the match.
Went for the stroke, but the kid's got a counter for that. Jarrett tossed into the corner. Now elevates Lethal to the apron. Right hand shot was blocked. Lethal comes back with a right of his own. Knocks Steiner again. Lethal doesn't see him.
Cracked him with the steel pipe.
Cracked it across his back.
And the referee didn't see it as Steiner heads to the ground to get out of the sight. And now Jarrett sent him up for the stroke up here, Mike.
Stroke from the rope. Face first. What a bad landing for Lethal right on his head. And Jarrett keeps the title because of Scott Steiner.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the King of the Mountain, Jarrett.
He was gutless this past Sunday when he threw the gasoline in the eyes of Sting. And now he's got Big Papa Pump continuing to do his dirty work.
This kid had him beat. This kid was unfazed. He didn't care. And now, look at this. Scott Steiner putting the Steiner recliner on. Wait a minute. What's going on?
Lights out, the impact zone on.
It's got to mean one thing.
Oh, could it be? Lights out.
Let's hope so. And there he is.
Look at Sting clean house. Right hand for Steiner. What a chop for Jarrett. Big boot for Steiner. Here comes security from the back.
If there's anybody that wants revenge, if there's anybody that deserves revenge, it is Sting after what Jarrett did. And look at him. He wants to rid that cancer from TNA.
He's knocking away from Hard Justice. He's choking the life out of Jarrett right now.
What are you doing?
Seriously, man. Can a guy just go through a door without having a camera shoved in his face? Don't you have somebody else to annoy? You want to know why I'm going in to see Jim Cornette? I'll tell you. You saw what just happened to Jay Lethal, didn't you? Didn't you? Everywhere Jeff Jarrett goes, Steiner is not far behind. So I'm going to make sure at Hard Justice, let's just say we're going to even the playing field. I'm going to ask Cornette if I can be in Sting's corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the impact zone, Christian Kane.
It was last week on Impact at the conclusion of the broadcast when we saw an incredibly intense Christian Kane going into the office of TNA Management's Jim Cornette. It was obvious that Christian was going to talk to Cornette about guaranteeing an even playing field for Jeff Jarrett and Sting at Hard Justice. We all know Jeff Jarrett has Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner in his corner. Christian mentioned in JB he wants to be in the corner of Sting because, yes, he knows that Sting is right. TNA cannot exist with Jarrett as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
The gesture's appreciated, but I really don't deserve it tonight. You see, I came out here tonight to do something that I've never done before, and that's apologize. You see, Sting, for the last couple months, I've doubted you. I doubted your character. I doubted the reasons that you came to TNA. But at Victory Road, after you came back to the ring, after you gutted out a win, and you became the #1 contender, I realized something. I finally realized something. That after 5 years away, you came back to make TNA the greatest wrestling promotion in the world. You came back to pave the road for guys like me, and the only way to do that is to get rid of the cancer. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it at the time. I was too busy being selfish. I was too busy worrying about my own agenda, or as you put it, Sting, acting like Jeff Jarrett. And for that, tonight, right here, I want to say, Sting, I'm sorry. Last week, I went into Jim Cornette's office and I asked him at Hard Justice if I could be in Sting's corner, if I could have his back. And he said to me, the only person that can answer that question is Sting himself. So, Stinger,
I hear from him, Will. Let's see what he's got to say.
Christian, let me just start off by saying that I didn't come here to try to make TNA the greatest wrestling promotion in the world. TNA already is the #1 wrestling promotion in the world. And I heard everything that you said, and you will get your answer in due time. But I got one thing on my mind, and that is performing surgery and removing the cancer here at TNA at Hard Justice, because it will be showtime!
And August 13th at Hard Justice, Sting will have that opportunity to remove the cancer from TNA. Now, let's hear from the cancer himself, the king of the mountain, the NWA champion, Jeff Jarrett.
Why did I do what I did at Victory Road?
Cameraman, my ass! He sprayed something in the eyes of Sting.
Spill it, it's gasoline!
One word, it was retaliation. In order for me to talk about what happened at Victory Road, we got to go back on Impact several weeks ago.
You are cancer, and I will remove you, Jerry!
Sting made it blatantly obvious. He clearly stated that he wants to remove me from TNA. For some crazy reason, TNA management is listening to the fans. They don't know what's good for them. The night at Slammiversary, when they pelted the ring and a barrage and there was a near riot, those fans are ungrateful SOBs. I don't know how many times I have to answer this. I take zero responsibility for Larry Zbyszko or Earl Hebner's actions. I will take a polygraph test. I'll take a lie detector test. I merely seized the opportunity when it was handed to me. Sting and Christian have had this very unusual relationship over the last 2 to 3 months, and now it looks like they have come together to fight a so-called common enemy in myself.
Everywhere Jeff Jarrett goes, Steiner is not far behind. So I'm going to make sure at Hard Justice, let's just say we're going to even the playing field. I'm going to ask Cornette if I can be in Sting's corner.
It's absolutely a setup. Cornette, Christian Cage, and Sting are in a collusion to oust me from TNA. If Sting accepts Christian Cage's offer, I have no choice but to bring Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump is going to be there to watch my back. So when an even playing field, Sting is not good enough to beat me. He is not on my level. If he fails at Hard Justice, he will be considered a failure on his last run in the wrestling business. So if he does not beat me at Hard Justice, he should pack his bags and leave. And Sting's made it clear, one of us has to go. When I beat him, for the good of TNA fans, for the good of Sting, for the good of TNA management. Sting needs to go. If somehow, some way, I come up with the short end of the stick, will I leave? I may not have an option.
Borash here backstage with some breaking news. We received word just minutes before going on the air tonight that Sting has indeed accepted Christian's offer to second him at ringside when he goes for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that means 1 week from this Sunday night at the Hard Justice pay-per-view in the main event, it will be Sting, seconded by Christian, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Jarrett, seconded by Big Papa Pump Scott.
What did I hear you say? Did I hear you say Sting accepted Christian's offer at Hard Justice main event? This is collusion. This is a setup. I said it last week. Where's Cornette at? Where's Christian at? This is
Hey, brothers, what are you guys up to? I heard you talking about Big Jimbo. You know he's coming to the Impact Zone tonight, and there's a mandatory meeting for everybody, and he especially wants to talk to you, Big Pappy.
What'd you say?
There's a meeting tonight. Mandatory meeting at the Impact Zone, given by Mr. Jim Cornette himself.
Well, where's Cornette right now?
I don't know. Haven't seen him.
Where's Christian?
I don't know where Christian's at.
You know everything else. Tell me where he's at.
Come on, guys. I don't know where he's at.
You know where everything's at. Tell me where he's at. Tell me where he's at. Come on. Come on, Scott. Tell me where he's at.
On me.
Tell me where Christian's at.
Nobody touches me.
Come on, Scott.
What's going on? Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner, they're in pursuit of Christian Cage.
Where's
Jeff, he's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you Christian's not even at the right building yet.
I don't believe you, boys. Where's Christian Cage at? Where's he at? Huh?
What? Where's he at?
If we go find him, we'll make Christian Cage find us. Let's go, Scott.
This has sent Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner completely over the edge. He Douglas gets the newly franchised Naturals. They're on a roll. And AMW, the problems continue.
Well, you can see the frustration with these guys in the ring. Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Oh, you know whose music that is.
Of course we do. It's Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner's music. And you know what? The Naturals, they have no idea they're coming from behind. And with Jarrett as well. Here comes Steiner and Jarrett on the attack.
Ever since Jarrett found out that Christian's going to be in the corner of Sting, he's been on the warpath, and he's taking it out on everybody. As you see Chase Stevens thrown into the ring, and look at this, the Wildcat's going to take it near him, and Jarrett throws in Andy Douglas.
Now, the associates of Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner and the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett, Harrison Storm, AMW, as well as Gail Kim, just adding to the beating here. There goes. Oh, Chase Stevens out to the floor. Jarrett's got a microphone, but Big Papa Pump going to send Andy Douglas outside as well.
Christian Cage, if you won't come to us, we're going to make you get out here right now. The King of the Mountain and Big Papa Pump are not leaving this ring until Christian Cage shows his face out here right now.
Oh, it's been the theme. We've heard it all night. Jarrett, Big Papa Pump, they want Christian Cage to come out. Nothing we can do. We're going to try and restore order here in the Impact Zone and take a commercial break, but Jarrett says they're not leaving.
TNA Wrestling presents Hard Justice, live Sunday, August 13th on pay-per-view.
We're back in the Impact Zone, and Larry Zbyszko from the Championship Committee has come out with a microphone to confront Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner.
Back off the music! I need your undivided attention in the ring. I have just gotten off the phone with Mr. Jim Cornette. And as a member of the Championship Committee, it is my sworn duty to relay to you a couple of very important orders. If the individuals involved do not comply with these orders, be warned. You will suffer the same fate as Earl Hebner. Polygraph or no polygraph, you will be fired.
Whoa! That's laying down the law.
I wonder what Jim Cornette said. What are the orders?
The first order is for Scott Steiner. Mr. Cornette demands to meet you face to face in the ring tonight.
Oh, what's on Jim Cornette's mind?
The second order is for Jeff Jarrett.
Bring it on, Zbyszko.
Mr. Cornette demands that you leave the building immediately.
Oh, yes!
Amen.
Absolutely. We're tired of him running over everybody.
Check this out. AMW, actually the voice of reason, trying to convince Jarrett that he should leave.
Well, they know Jim Cornette needs business. We've seen what can happen. This guy is laying down the law, and he's got to do this right now.
And it looks like they've talked some sense into the world's heavyweight champion. James Moore, right in the face of Jeff Jarrett, and they're telling him, what could happen? You could end up getting fired.
Well, it's the right move to make, Mike. It's just something that's got to be done. Jeff Jarrett has got to be sent out of this building.
Oh, you're not kidding. Chaotic situation in the Impact Zone back at ringside. Mike today joined by Don West of DW. Jim Cornette has yet to arrive in the building, but the power of the face of TNA's management has already been felt.
Well, you can see what happens when Jim Cornette speaks. People listen. You saw Larry Zbyszko automatically relay those orders. He wanted Jarrett removed. And don't forget, not only that, coming up later tonight, an emergency meeting called by Jim Cornette.
And Jim Cornette wants to talk to Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. We know that much. Plus, Jeff Jarrett barred from the building. It's hard justice. It's August 13th. It's the opportunity for Sting when he challenges Jeff Jarrett for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. And it was earlier this week when I had a great opportunity to sit down and talk with the man who says that he's going to cut the cancer out of TNA. Let's hear from the one and only Sting. Sting, since arriving in TNA as the new public face of management, Jim Cornette has made some important decisions, many that have impacted your career. What are your thoughts on Jim Cornette, both positive and negative?
You're not going to catch me pointing my finger at Jimmy Cornette because I didn't end up with a world title. I think he's calling the shots the way he should. And so far, I'm in agreement with him.
At the Hard Justice pay-per-view, when you challenged Jeff Jarrett for the NWA World's Heavyweight title, it's pretty obvious that Scott Steiner is going to be in Jarrett's corner. You made the decision, Christian Cage, he is going to be in your corner for that title match.
Well, Scotty Steiner has been glued to Jeff Jarrett since he came in. Jeff brought him in for that reason alone, to watch his back. I don't see anyone else stepping up to the plate to stand in my corner other than Christian. For somebody to stand up on national TV like that and humble himself,
I'm sorry,
says a lot to me. So he's golden in my book. It's obvious I'm going to need someone in my corner, and I'm glad it's Christian Cage.
Jeff Jarrett said recently on Impact that if he loses at Hard Justice, he might as well walk away from TNA. But he also said that if you lose, that your run in TNA has to be deemed a failure.
You know what? I can't disagree with that. That's pretty accurate. I mean, it's obvious it's time for Sting to back up what he's saying. And I know I got a lot at stake. And I know I've been shooting off my mouth. But I'm on a quest.
It's almost 2 for the price of 1. Beat Jeff Jarrett, you eliminate the cancer from TNA. And at the same time, you become NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Hey, I'd love to walk away with the world title. But almost even more important than that is getting rid of him. He's got his equalizer, I've got mine.
I've never seen 2 such divergent reactions from 2 wrestlers between you and Jeff Jarrett. It's almost as if there's not one thing that you 2 could agree on.
No, you know what? I think that there is one thing that I agree with Jeff Jarrett on, and I'm sure he agrees with me, is there's not enough room for both of us here at TNA.
Out of the Impact Zone are waiting the arrival of Jim Cornette. I suspect this is him. He is on his way en route here to the Impact Zone. We have to get to the bottom of this situation with Sting, Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett. What's going on?
You're everywhere, aren't you?
Yeah.
I need 2 things. I need to know 2 things. Number 1, is Scott Steiner still here?
He's here.
Number 2, is Jeff Jarrett gone?
Gone.
That's all I need to know. We'll see you later.
Mr. Cornette.
Jesus.
Listen, we gotta get this taken care of. It's driving me nuts. Am I losing my job?
What's your name again?
Eric Young.
Okay, Eric, I know you want to talk to me. I don't have time right now. I got fish to fry here tonight. You come back next week. We'll have a meeting. We'll talk about your future. Write it down.
All right, sorry, Eric. No time for you this week, I guess. Jim Cornette has arrived, and that means the emergency meeting is coming up here. What are you doing in Cornette's car?
Just needed a ride, JB, but I'm in a great mood tonight. Eric, what's going on, man? Hey, Cornette, Cornette told you what was going on, right?
And what
He told you the deal?
Do you know something?
I know everything.
Hey, we're Canadians. Give it to me. What are you looking at?
Your head. That is an impressive head. Never mind. Listen. I like you. I like your shirt. That's a cool shirt. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah, don't fire it. Don't fire it.
Very good idea. Very good idea. Listen. I'm going to talk to Cornette for you. Okay. See if I can change his mind. Got it?
Now, everybody else is dismissed except, oh, and by the way, dismissed means get the hell out of my building, except Christian Cage and Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. I want to see you guys in the ring. Everybody else can go.
Well, we knew that he had an issue with Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. We heard that really from the start of tonight's program when Slick Johnson got right in the face of Big Papa Pump.
And let's face it, Christian Cage has been the focal point of Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett ever since they found out he was going to be in the corner of Sting.
Wow, a laundry list of blockbuster announcements by the new public face of TNA management, Jim Cornette. And now, with the balance of the talent leaving, it boils down to Scott Steiner and Christian Cage to meet in mid-ring with Jim Cornette.
Gentlemen, I've called you in here. I have the utmost respect for both of you as athletes, but there's a little problem, and I want to get it resolved. Now, Christian, everybody knows, I think I've made it clear when I talk to you, I'm not a fan of wrestlers being seconds for other wrestlers. But I said you could be in Sting's corner at Hard Justice if it's okay with him, right? Well, I knew what was going to happen as soon as he said okay. Now, Steiner, you want to be in Jeff Jarrett's corner. It's starting to get complicated. I'm afraid that Jeff Jarrett is going to have enough distractions that he's going to be able to weasel out of this situation with the title, which I don't want to happen. So since you guys want to be involved, Christian, and I'm talking more to you than I am to you, Mr. Steiner, I'm going to give you the chance to either really help Sting or really hurt him. The ball's going to be in your court. Because next week here on Impact, you guys want to be involved? I want to get you involved. On free television next week, no pay-per-view, nobody has to buy a ticket, right here on television. It's going to be you, Christian Cage, one-on-one with you, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! That's awesome!
Next week here on
Before
Impact.
you think I'm nuts here, let me just explain this. I know you want to help Sting. I know you've offered to help Sting. Well, you can help Sting because I expect an all-out brawl between you two guys. I expect ratings to go through the roof. I expect a great match, but what's more, the guy who pounds the bejesus out of his opponent, well, if you have to do what you got to do, maybe that guy won't be able to show up at Hard Justice. If you beat the heck out of him, then maybe he won't show up at Hard Justice, and that way Sting will have Jeff Jarrett all to himself, and you'll be around ringside to make sure nothing happens. But the same goes, Mr. Steiner. If you pound the bejesus out of him, then Christian, you're not going to be able to be in Sting's corner. So in other words, it's an all or nothing situation. Each one of you wants to help your man. Well, you can help your man because all you got to do is beat the other guy. Next week, Steiner and Cage, may the best man win.
The only thing I agree with is you called me Mister. Now back the hell up. Now next week, before I stick this size 12 so far up your ass, you're gonna be flossing with my shoelaces. You only got 2 strikes against you. 1, you're not big enough, strong enough to go one-on-one with the genetic freak. The other thing is, you're from that stinking country you call Canada. So watch, I think it's your time to go back up to that cesspool, that place we call Mexico North. And I apologize to all the Mexicans out there.
Wow. Point counterpoint.
Quick question, Steiner. Are you even speaking English? Because I can't understand a damn word that you say.
I think he said flossing with his shoelaces, I believe.
Do us all a favor and spit the marbles out of your mouth. It's like this, Sir Lancelot. Next week, live on Impact, you can bring your stupid metal headdress, you can bring your speech impediment, and you can bring all your muscles. The result is going to be the same. You're not going to make it to Hard Justice because I'm going to hand you your ass because that's
That's what we're waiting for. Next week on Impact. What a showdown this is going to be. Christian Cage against Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, DW. Jim Cornette made some great points.
Think about what you're going to see next week. I mean, you're going to see a six-man involving Kevin Nash in the X Division. You're going to see Christian Cage, Scott Steiner, as you see right now. Christian Cage walking back through the crowd. He's so ready. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on?
What the hell? A fan didn't pull Christian Cage over the guardrail.
And look at the beatdowns going on between. Oh, it's Jeff Jarrett. He was sitting there laying in wait.
Jeff Jarrett in disguise again, wearing a Sting mask, posing as a fan, and now Jarrett and Steiner, they take Christian Cage, and they throw him headfirst right through the wall.
They're trying to make sure that Christian Cage isn't ready for next week.
What kind of condition is Christian going to be in? We'll find out next week. Scott Steiner, Christian Cage.
After just one glorious match, Sting retired.
Jeff Jarrett, you made a fatal mistake. It was a fatal encounter the day you decided to mess with my family.
But he could not live in peaceful obscurity. That is because one devious man decided to embark on a personal war with the retired legend.
Thing off. Turn it off.
You know, Sting says that he came back to fight for his family. Well, this Sunday, I'm fighting for my career.
At Destination X, a legend retired, but a man returned with vengeance on his mind. Turns.
He's coming.
A legacy grows.
Here comes Sting! Yes!
Now, Sting battles his longtime nemesis, Jeff Jarrett, for the most prestigious title in professional wrestling.
You got your neutralizer, Scotty?
It's showtime!
I got my neutralizer, Christian Cage.
TNA Wrestling presents Hard Justice.
Whether Steiner cost himself a match there or cost himself embarrassment by Christian Cage kicking out.
I believe he was just trying to get right into the head of Christian Cage to let him know what he's going to be in for this Sunday at Hard Justice. And another pin attempt just gets the shoulder up in time.
Another power move, belly to belly, but that may be the wake-up call for Christian Cage as he fights back, as you mentioned, Jim, from underneath.
Well, but he's not fighting back enough right now because Scott Steiner's still on top of him. Christian will not quit. He will keep on throwing him. And at Hard Justice, that's the kind of match we're going to see between Sting and Jeff Jarrett, because Sting's made his intentions clear. If Christian Cage can survive this match, more importantly, if he can take Scott Steiner out of the equation, then finally we have Jeff Jarrett in a place where he can't weasel out with that NWA World Championship, and that's what I want to see. Like I said, Christian, good move there, cover, wait.
And no, 2 count before Steiner uses his leg strength to power out.
I'm here for people who can sell pay-per-views, draw big ratings, and have great matches.
It is inverted DDT and another near fall.
And these guys so far have drawn ratings, I'm sure, and they're having a great match. The question is now, how can we set up the pay-per-view to get Jeff Jarrett away from that NWA World Championship, which I believe, like I've said, is bad for business.
It all goes down this Sunday at Hard Justice. In addition to that, Jim Cornette says, let's turn them loose. Samoa Joe, Rhino, Monty Brown. It's going to be falls count anywhere. What a great call that was this Sunday.
Well, and as well, a 4-way match, tag teams for the #1 contendership for the NWA World Tag Team title, Abyss and Runt. It's going to be so much at Hard Justice, but everybody's focused on this match and the impact that it's going to have, no pun intended, on the NWA World Championship match between Sting and Jarrett.
You're right. Jim Cornette here at the broadcast position watching this matchup. This is so important when it comes to the title match this Sunday. Both or either of these men not make it to the corner. Christian going to use the ropes for extra leverage and extra weight with the pin attempt, but not able to put Steiner away.
And I'll tell you can tell by that, Don, Christian's no angel. He'll do what needs to be done, and that's exactly the kind of guy that I want in TNA.
Well, the former champion just shows great resiliency, and he goes up high risk right here, and Big Pump Scott Steiner doesn't waste any time.
My God!
Oh, look at this! Oh, man!
Look out below!
Look at the pain written across the face of Christian Cage. I felt the impact all the way over here at the announcer's desk. And Scott Steiner, I'm afraid, is in the driver's seat here. Could my prophecy come true, but in reverse?
Here it is. Steiner recliner applied by Big Papa Pump. He goes to the submission hold. Christian going to try and fight through this pain.
The former former champion just showing all the heart that he had, and he's trying to work his way over to the ropes. Can he get there? Reaching out.
Oh, so close. Oh, he was just this close to getting the rope break. And Steiner, as Jim mentioned from the opening minute, going to use the power game.
Look at him biting. Look at that. Biting the thumb.
He'll do anything. Going to go for the unprettier here.
I've seen a different side of the former champion right there. Anything it takes it all.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. There is the champ, and he catches Scott Steiner.
Oh, Jarrett hits the ring. Referee calls for the bell, an obvious disqualification. Oh, they're going to try and take Christian Cage out before Hard Justice.
But look at this. I'm not worried about who won that match. I'm worried about what kind of shape any of these guys is in when all the fighting's over with, and that remains to be seen.
It's all about survival right now. And Jeff Jarrett, look at him just inflicting damage, going for the legs, going for the knees, and now he's going to go for the figure four.
Oh, he started off with the Jarrett.
No, wait a minute. Look at that.
He's got the scorpion.
Talk about sending a message to Sting. That's exactly what he's doing. Lights out the impact zone.
Something's happening there.
And there he is.
Sting. It's Sting. He's got the scorpion on Jeff Jarrett.
Look at Jarrett writhing in pain. And now he goes after Steiner. It's all broken loose.
My God, what kind of a brawl, what kind of a fight, what kind of a war is it going to be at Hard Justice? With Sting and Jeff Jarrett for the NWA title, the richest prize in our sport. And look at Sting, he's cleaning the ring.
He just cleaned house. He took both Jarrett and Steiner out to the arena floor. Oh, and they're rocking the impact zone in anticipation of this Sunday.
Jeff Jarrett is a cancer, and cancer needs to be cured